What's up, y'all? This is Critic, and today we're going to be doing a review on The Long Walk. It's directed by Francis Lawrence, who, if y'all don't know, he directed most of the Hunger Game movies from Catching Fire to Mockingjay to the recent Hunger Games movie that just came out like 2 years ago. He's a pretty solid director, and he's directing this movie. It also stars David Jonsson, who was in Alien Romulus. That's where most of the people know him from, as this android. And he's also in this movie that I really enjoyed, but people don't seem to be familiar with it because they didn't watch it, called Riot Lanes. It is a great comedy romantic movie, and y'all should consider watching it when y'all have the time. But anyways, this is about The Long Walk. So The Long Walk is a Stephen King's adapted movie, and Stephen King has done the It movies, The Life of Chuck that just came out this year, The Monkey, Doctor Sleep, Pet Cemetery, Gerald's Game. He has a whole bunch of movies that people watch, and I'll say 50% are good, and then 50% of them is not that good, actually. So this was a hit and miss with the Stephen King's adaptations. But basically, this is the Long Walk is a dystopian type of movie, that Hunger Games type of feel. And this is a world where everything is just dictated. You can't read books. You have to read certain books. They ban everything that's against the government. That type of thing that's going on. And so the way people were supposed to get money in this universe is doing a challenge called the Long Walk. And so the contestant or the person that's involved with that event has to walk the longest miles. 50 people, 50 kids basically, has to walk the longest miles to survive. And if you don't walk a certain amount of time, which is like, in the book they said 4 miles per hour, but in here they said 3 miles per hour. So if you don't run that amount of speed, you'll get killed. And that's basically the plot of the movie without me spoiling it. Going in, I didn't really know what to think about The Long Walk. It had an interesting concept, like walking, making it a challenge for a contestant to get money, and in this universe being so dark and gray, and reminding you of how messed up the world can be once you have, a dictator taking over a country or a world that can make you, not see things from an outsider perspective or anything like that. So once I saw the trailer and I seen, of course, David Jonsson, but also Philip Seymour Hoffman's son is in this movie. His name is Cooper Hoffman. He's basically the lead of the movie. And I was really interested because he also did Licorice Pizza. If y'all haven't seen that, that's been out a few years ago. I mean, y'all can see him in that movie if y'all want, but I thought he was really solid in the movie. So here I was really curious about him and his chemistry with David Jonsson, because through the trailers and the clips, they looked like they had good chemistry. And also they had the legendary Mark Hamill, who's Luke Skywalker, and he did the Joker. He voiced the Joker, obviously. That's where everybody knows him from. So going in, I was just like, these are a few things I'm interested in. I can't wait to watch it. So I had no expectations, didn't read the book, none of that. Watched the movie. It messed me up so bad, y'all. It messed me up so bad. I was like, dang, the kids are going through so much in this movie. And so you have these two characters, right? You have these two characters. Cooper Hoffman, who is our lead, is playing Raymond Grotti, and David Jonsson is playing Peter McVeers. These are the two people that you're basically following throughout this journey in these past 2 hours and understanding their perspective and how they look at the world. And it gives you a description of how messed up this world can be once everything is like dictator or whatever. And then you have Mark Hamill, who's this sergeant that does evil things to everyone, and including them that are in this Long Walk event. And I was like, dang, man, this general is messed up. He's done messed up things to these characters and to everybody that was in his path. And it's like, dang, man, you done some crazy stuff. Which we'll get to Mark Hamill in a bit. So, yeah. That's basically my interpretation of that character. But the characters, I'm gonna get to the good. The characters are like the strong part of the whole movie. Like, you can have a concept like this, like the long walk, and be like, yeah, this is cool, but how long is this gimmick going to take? Like, just walking for the past 2 hours, it can't be that much fun. You got everything grayed out, abandoned buildings, abandoned, farming sites. Like, nothing's really going on where it's gonna pop your eye. But the characters, the dialogue that they put in once, they go through town, are just the amazing parts of the movie. You like Cooper Hoffman's character, Raymond. He's the lead. He cares about certain things. He has strong values and strong points of view of what he wants to do. And you understand where he's coming from and know that he has a goal that he wants to accomplish. And then you have David Jonsson's character as Peter. He is an amazing character in this movie, man. You feel sympathy for him. You hear his story and what he's going through, and you're like, man, how is he going through this and is so happy? He is probably like the brightest part of this movie. And I mean that in like everything, everybody just feeling so dour and hopeless, and he just feel hopeful. And he probably went through the most stuff that you can ever go through. And he feels the most hopeful in this movie, which I really love this character, Peter. He also has other characters in the movie. You have Toot North as Arthur. I thought he was great. He was like a good supporting character, and you understand his story. Also, this kid named, he's not even a kid, Ben Wang. If y'all watch Karate Kid, he was in that movie. The recent Karate Kid that came out that nobody saw, but that's fine. But he was one of the best parts of Karate Kid, and I'm glad he's here. He's more of the comedic relief, and even you feel bad for him and see what he's going through. The walk itself, now I say that they have to do a lot to make this, entertaining. And bro, they go through a lot in the movie because you don't understand, like, walking a certain amount of miles and not stopping. It's like, dang, man, you don't have nowhere to pee, nowhere to like take a dump, nowhere. You just gotta keep on walking 3 miles per hour. And they give you these 3 warnings where if you keep stopping less than 3 miles per hour, then you're gonna get killed. That's just that. And that was crazy. The certain events that they're going through, certain things that they had to do, even trying to eat, drinking water. Like, it's insane what they had to go through just walking these certain amount of hours, walking through rain. Like, it's crazy. And like I said, the themes of this being a dystopian future is always interesting to me. And like I said, the themes of this being a dystopian future is always interesting to me. Talking about friendship, the rich and the poor, all that. I always love these themes because it reminds us, like, not saying it could be a possibility, but that anything could go on if some things happen, with the government and all that. So that those are always interesting to me. And it got me emotional. They have certain, like I said about the characters, you care about Peter, you care about Ray, you care about all these characters that you're following. And it's like, man, I'm really caring about these characters and hoping they don't die, even though they have to, because this is the challenge that they put themselves in. But I'll say the bad part is Mark Hamill's character, even though he does villainous stuff, he's more of a caricature. He didn't really do nothing for me, man. Yeah, Mark Hamill's character, the Major, I think it was more of the way Mark Hamill act. It was more of a caricature than a character, if that makes any sense. Like, you hear the backstories of what he's done and how evil he is, yet once he's talking and doing things in the movie, you don't really feel anything. It's like, okay, he's there, he's the villain, it is what it is. Like, you hate what he's done, but in the movie, it's just like, dang, I don't really care that much about him. And is that the only bad thing? I guess that was the only bad thing with me is Mark Hamill, because every time he talks or he's involved with the plot, it just takes me out because of the way Mark Hamill acts in this movie. Not saying Mark Hamill is a bad actor or anything, but in this movie, it just wasn't good to me. I'm gonna be completely honest with that. Overall, the movie is really well done, fully developed characters, I love David Johnson's acting, especially, and also Cooper Hoffman's character was really good too. Everybody in the cast was really good besides Mark Hamill. I'm sorry, I just had to say that, but they were really good in this movie. Would I watch it again? Probably not because it's too depressing. Oh yeah. Also, certain I'm not saying this is a bad, but certain people are going to feel different about the ending. You either understand like what the creators like Francis Lawrence and Stephen King was trying to do with the ending and be like, okay, this makes sense with the situation that they're put in with these characters, or you'll be like, man, this ending kind of whack. So I understand that. So people are going to have different reactions to how this movie ended. So it's not a negative, but just something to point out in case you have difference of opinion. Overall, I really enjoyed the movie. This is probably one of the best Stephen King's adaptations I've seen, like besides the Shawshank Redemption. And yeah, it's pretty enjoyable. I recommend watching it. If you really watch the trailer and you ask yourself, man, I'm gonna watch this movie, I'll watch it. You know, so that's it for my review for The Long Walk, and I'll catch y'all later. All right, y'all. Peace.